Talking about 𝗀𝗎𝐶𝑇, I think, of course, Professor Sharma has been the lighthouse for all of us here. But at the same time, Professor J.B. Joshi was the person who actually invited me to 𝗀𝗎𝐶𝑇, not as a student. But he promised that, Deepak, we are putting up a girls' hostel, and whatever you contribute, I will work to see that you earn that much by 𝗀𝗎𝐶𝑇 contributing back to the industry. And that is how the girls' university was, the hostel was supported by Deepak, but actually supported by Professor Joshi. Rajendra ji, your book, as you mentioned about cricket, I would like to just share one point that 1990 also was a year when one major change occurred. And that was the advent of IPL. And in other words, all of those 4 success factors are possible once people start earning huge amount of money. Earlier on, cricketers used to get 500,000, 50,000. It was only when they started earning in crores that suddenly everybody was interested in seeing how to ensure that these cricketers succeed. Exactly. So, when we come back to looking at India, as Raju Bhai rightly said, that India is at a very, very interesting position, particularly for the chemical industry, where we believe that from somewhere around $280 billion in the next 10 to 12 years, India should become a country with over $1 trillion of chemical business, almost 3 times growth. And if you look at it, the pace at which we have grown in the last 60 years, we may need to even grow much bigger, much faster in the next 10 years. One of the interesting things that Rajendra ji was mentioning in his book is, yes, chemical industry is a great opportunity, but it is like 2 sides of the coin. You pick up the coin with that chemical opportunity, and at the same time, the other side of the coin, which is safety and hazards, come along with it. So we entrepreneurs look at only one side and start running. It is also equally important to see and to know that there is the other side. Sometimes I feel that as an entrepreneur, as an industry, the stock market actually drives us into wrong directions. We are driven to see how to grow fast, how to demonstrate that we are smart, how to ensure that we are completing projects in record time. All these things are rewarded by the stock markets going up. But in reality, as the book also says, that how do you really ensure that every stage that you are doing a perfect job, and you are actually walking back 2 steps, again reviewing it, have you dotted the I's and crossed the T's, and then you are taking the next step. So this type of patience and this type of consistent review ensures that in the long term you will gain profits. But in the short term, of course, you end up feeling that somebody is overtaking you in terms of time, or others are going far ahead. I think for entrepreneurs, this is a lesson that we will need to learn, that how do we really balance between what the world judges us in terms of growth and performance, and what do we do which is much more longer term than shorter term. I was recently in Europe, and a couple of companies that we met, one of the company was demonstrating, like the way we have 0 accidents in India, we talk about it. They were talking about 0 spills in the factory for the last 5 years. And I was curious to know, how do you really get this? I mean, it is not enough to share with people that, okay, let's work for 0 spill. As Rajendra ji rightly put in the book, step by step, how do we go about ensuring safety, for example. But finally it is the habit that needs to be cultivated in people to do it in the right way. And some of the things that these companies were practicing was 25% of the variable pay of every person in that company was being related to what extent of impact or effect did he contribute to towards zero spill. We talked about near misses. And there was another company which said, I don't only count how many misses were there when you were working in the factory. How many misses were there also when you were at home? That while you were on the phone and you picked up something which was not supposed to be picked up because you were not paying attention, or when you were climbing downstairs. I mean, another company has been saying that if at all we find somebody who is climbing downstairs with a mobile in his hand, immediately he is notified. These have nothing to do with operations, but these have to do with habits, with culture, with the belief that any and every moment, unless the concern of caution, concern of safety is into your DNA, it will not show up in the factory. It is actually a really long-term impact, and frankly, we need to be, as entrepreneurs, reminded again and again to concentrate on these and wait for the long-term profit future to come. From institutes like ICT, we from industry also would like to expect some things. A lot of times I do find that even in doing research, when we go about doing research, we quickly look at a mindset of being a maverick or being a creator and quickly wanting to demonstrate that how it is done. But we have learned from some of our German friends that amount of systematic work that they do even before putting the work on the lab in terms of literature study. They have like stage by stage approaches towards research. If I were to look at it as an entrepreneur, I would feel, oh, this type of work will take me 6 months, a year to develop a project. But really, that is the right way to be doing. We all in India want to play the jugaad way and see how quickly we can get and how can we be better and faster than the next one. How do we change ourselves, and how do we also have people or students or young engineers who have been driven to this type of a strict military discipline of ensuring that they do the right thing at the right time and are consistent at it and are not in a hurry. That they are not feeling monotonous about doing these things. If and only if we do all this, we will be able to create a sustainable chemical industry. I do believe, as Raju rightly said, that the potential is vast and immense, but we need to do something here to see that tomorrow's India has the Dows and the DuPonts and the BASFs out here in India. And we are able to tell the world that yes, the best of technologies are practiced over here. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.